welcome to the creative experience. Today our guest is going to be Skye Matlock. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Stephen, as you know, I'm in my last year studying fashion design at Parsons School of Design in New York City. So I graduate in 4 months, and I've always had an interest in art and clothes and fashion and music, and I've just been trying to figure out ways to combine them all together so that I can do everything I love at once.
Okay. So where'd you get started? Like, where did all of your artistic journey begin? Like, what inspired you?
Well, it was just one day my dad pulled out an art box filled with paintbrushes and paint that he had when he was in elementary school. And he said, "Oh, look at this." He just showed it to me. And I was like, what is, I knew what painting was, but I didn't know, how to make art, I guess. Mm-hmm. I was in 2nd grade when this happened.
Okay.
So he just he got me an easel, he got me some canvas, and I was using the paints that he had from when he was a kid. I don't know how they were still good, but I was using them. And it just started from there, and then I started taking art classes and found a love for drawing and just kept doing that.
Okay. So how do you think drawing ties into what you're doing now? Because you're going to school for fashion right now. How does all of the things that you've worked up into, how do they tie in at this point?
Yeah, I mean, that is the question.
Yeah.
Because I started drawing so early on, and I did that for about 5 years until I realized, I started drawing fashions and drawing little outfits when I was in kindergarten. In our free time, I was always sketching little people in their little outfits, and I always said I want to be a fashion designer, but I never really knew. It was just a dream when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So that's where that started, but then all the drawing stuff I had been drawing throughout elementary school, middle school, and then once I got to high school, I took a fashion design class, and it just brought back that love for drawing and fashion that I had when I was in kindergarten. Okay. So I knew that if it was something that I loved when I was 5, that I should probably try and pursue that.
Exactly. So moving forward with it, you see how your past has influenced your present. How do you think your present is going to influence your future?
That's insane. That's something that I always have a problem with. I always look so far ahead into the future that I can't focus on what I'm working on now. I mean, not always, but because now I'm wanting to do music stuff, I'm wanting to do fashion stuff, I don't know where I see myself. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate all of those into a career or just how I'm going to work with all of these things in the future. All I know is that I just do them all separately, and they're starting right now to all meld together. Okay. So I'm just waiting it out, taking one step at a time, as cliched as it is. It's really important.
Okay, so we haven't talked about music. So what is music to you? What do you do with music?
What is music to me? So, my brother, everyone's gonna hate this. My brother introduced me to the Beatles when I was probably in 5th or 6th grade. And that just started my love for music that wasn't just whatever was on the radio. Because, I loved all that stuff, but I didn't know that it went deeper because there was so much that I wasn't hearing. And my brother started showing me that. And then my uncle started me showing indie music, alternative stuff. And then I just went on iTunes at the time, and I was just going to related artists until I found all these different genres and was realizing this is something I wanted to do. And because in middle school I was in band, I played bass clarinet. I always loved the bass, the drums, the low end of everything. So I was like, well, maybe bass guitar, because my brother played guitar, and he said, you should play bass guitar, we could be in a band. So I got one, and I still play it today. And I love a lot of my friends don't know the difference between a bass guitar and a regular guitar. So I love being able to be the person to tell them, because it's such an exciting, once you hear it, oh my God, it's so great. It's so exciting.
Okay, so do you think that you consume music differently now that you're like a musical artist than before, when you were just like, you were interested in it?
Absolutely. And I always feel so bad because my friends in fashion who just listen to whatever, they just listen to music, they just throw it on, and I'll be like, these lyrics are horrible, or I'll be like, what is going on in the background? And they're just like, oh, it's a great song. So I always feel like I have to hold myself back from making comments, because there's so many things I notice. Because once you start making music and playing music, you can hear the way other people play in songs. So it makes it more fun to listen to, but also you gotta make sure you don't sound like a complete douche.
Exactly. So if you wanted to leave everybody with something, like progressing forward, like what would be your closing statements?
My closing statement, something that I am still working on and that I've realized is the most important. It seems really cliche, but it's just the staple of advice, I guess. It's just, I don't want to say follow your dreams, because that is cheesy, but just stick. If you have a gut feeling, if you're passionate about something, you need to do it. You need to stick with it. Even though, because, there have been people who will tell you, this is bad, don't do this, whatever. But if you feel it's something that you need to put out there and you need to do, then do it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So this was the Creative Experience.